I came home after an 18-hour shift and found my daughter sleeping. After a few hours I tried to wake her up, but she wasn't responding. I confronted my mother and she said she was being annoying, so I gave her some pills to shut her up. My sister snorted, "She'll probably wake up, and if she doesn't, then finally we'll have some peace." I called an ambulance, and when they gave me the report, it left me speechless. The fluorescent lights of the hospital corridor buzzed overhead as I sat in the waiting room, my hands still trembling from the adrenaline that had carried me through the last 6 hours. My name is Evan Harper, and I'm a 34-year-old emergency room nurse at St. Mary's General Hospital. I just finished an 18-hour shift covering for a colleague who'd called in sick, dealing with everything from heart attacks to overdoses. The irony wasn't lost on me now. When I finally made it home to my small 2-bedroom apartment at 2 a.m., I was exhausted beyond words. My 5-year-old daughter Clara was sleeping peacefully in her bed, her small frame barely making a dent in the mattress. She looked angelic with her dark hair spread across the pillow, clutching her stuffed elephant, Mr. Peanuts. I smiled despite my exhaustion and gently kissed her forehead before trudging to my own room. I should explain the living situation. After my divorce from Clara's mother Hannah 2 years ago, things had been financially tight. Hannah had moved to California with her new boyfriend, leaving Clara with me full-time. My mother Linda, 58, had moved in to help with childcare while I worked my demanding hospital shifts. My younger sister Natalie, 26, had also been staying with us for the past 6 months after losing her job and getting evicted from her apartment. The arrangement wasn't ideal. Linda had always been controlling and had never particularly bonded with Clara. She saw her granddaughter more as an inconvenience than a blessing. Natalie was worse. She'd grown increasingly resentful and bitter since her life had fallen apart, and she made no secret of her annoyance at having a young child around cramping her style. I woke up around 10 a.m., feeling slightly more human after 8 hours of sleep. The apartment was unusually quiet. Normally, Clara would be up by 8 a.m., chattering away and asking for breakfast. I padded to her room in my pajamas and found her still in bed, in the exact same position I'd left her in. "Clara, sweetheart, time to wake up," I said softly, sitting on the edge of her bed. She didn't stir. I tried again, a little louder this time, gently shaking her shoulder. Nothing. A cold dread began to creep up my spine. In my line of work, I'd seen enough to know when something was seriously wrong. Clara was breathing, but it was shallow and irregular. Her skin felt clammy, and when I lifted her eyelid, her pupil was dilated and sluggish to respond to light. "Mom!" I called out, my voice sharp with panic as I scooped Clara into my arms. "Natalie! Get in here now!" Linda appeared in the doorway, coffee mug in hand, looking annoyed at being disturbed. Natalie shuffled in behind her, still in her bathrobe, looking hungover from whatever she'd been doing the night before. "What's all the shouting about?" Linda asked irritably. "Something's wrong with Clara. She won't wake up, and her breathing is shallow. What happened while I was asleep? Did she eat anything unusual? Fall and hit her head?" Linda's expression shifted almost imperceptibly, and I caught it. Years of reading people's faces in medical emergencies had made me sensitive to the smallest changes in expression. She was fine when she